The one thing that I always struggle, because, we talk to politicians on the show sometimes, or journalists, or people message us who are quite influential in government or elsewhere. The one thing I always struggle to get people to understand is why this matters here. Why should anyone care about this?
Yeah. I think two reasons. I mean, the first reason, which might be hard to convince people, but you should care about what you're connected to. One of the things about drugs, and I find fascinating, is somebody could be snorting a line of cocaine in a toilet in London, and that has a journey. That money you spent on that gram, some of that money is going to reach these cartels. So you actually got a responsibility for caring about where that goes. Some of that money goes to paying a hitman who's carrying out those massacres, who's cutting up those bodies, who's leaving, kids disappeared, and a bunch of brutal stuff. And it's not just bad guys being taken out with this. A lot of innocent people have died in this. So one, you should care, but that's hard. It's quite a hard sell.
Right. I mean, our phones are made in pretty much the same way.
Yeah. It's quite a hard sell. People say, should you try and have a campaign? And some people go, don't take cocaine because it goes, people then, in some pub and someone's drunk and someone comes offering, it's hard to kind of think. But the other thing is, what I've seen over the last 20 years in Latin America and Mexico, it's like a new type of armed conflict, a new type of violence. And you see how this can play out in the 21st century and what this can mean for society. It's totally changed the way I think. I grew up here in the UK. I would not like police. As a punk teenager, I'd be like anti-police and stuff. Now you see how horrific crime can be, how this can affect a society, what that means in terms of quality of life, standard of life for people when, somebody's daughter is disappeared and then brutally raped and murdered, when, you have a mother who's a school teacher who describes her 18-year-old son who's a philosophy student being taken away by an armed group from her house and just disappeared, and she's going around morgues trying to find, is there any sign of him? These kind of things. Now, I know we're a long way from that now, but I do see in this country and in Europe, society getting more fragmented. Like these kind of divisions and stuff, and we shouldn't take for granted, because we've had a fairly non-violent society for many years, it's always going to be the case, because historically, we're just as violent in Europe or, as anywhere else.